Oh, he is?
Yeah, literally just got announced.
Nice. Josh Hart still he's missing today's game, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Joshy. Joshy.
Alright, but we're gonna start out like 6:12, just wait for people to get on because scheduled it for 6:10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's the weather like over there?
It's getting a little warmer. It's been a fucking minute. It was cold today. It's still cold, but like it was like in the low 20s. Now it's like 35. So you can definitely feel the difference. Fuck you, dude.
Low 20s,
Awful.
Wait, was it snowing yesterday?
It was. Dude, I was in the city like busting my ass.
I was watching the game, and then you know how like sometimes they have like pictures of outside of MSG, and I was like, "Oh, golly, bro!" Yesterday was like 76. Today is 78 and sunny right now. The sun is like blaring in my face, bro.
Since it's 6 p.m. in February in New York, dude, it's fucking dark outside. It's cold and dark.
Oh my god, I don't miss that, bro. I don't miss that,
Perfect. Alright, let's start this thing up.
bro. Yep.
We have a massive New York Knicks injury update as OG Anunoby has just been confirmed to be back with the New York Knicks playing again, and we are going to break all of this down and discuss the fact that OG's there, everything thrown at us in the comments, and all the usual stuff. You guys know how it goes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest Happy Hour. It's Chris and Dariel here, and we're going to jump right into it. Dariel, OG is back after getting injured against the Los Angeles Lakers. He finally makes his return to the court, and very, very good sign, as it means he did not have a serious injury after all, which always is just good to see. And frankly, I'm really excited for this. The Knicks desperately needed OG Anunoby back if they wanted to win against a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, the number one team in the Eastern Conference right now. Obviously, we both have our own feelings on the Cavs as well. But this game just got a lot more interested. I mean, Knicks coming off a back-to-back especially, like, things can definitely get a little bit worrisome. But it seems as if everything's all good at the end of the day, which is absolutely huge. Because it did feel like without OG tonight, the Knicks were just going to get stomped. So this is super helpful.
Wait, you thought without OG tonight, you thought they were gonna get stomped? I don't think they
Just
were
on the
gonna get.
back to back.
Yeah, on a back-to-back, I understand. I don't think they were gonna get stomped, but I was definitely gonna be watching this game with a little bit more of intentional eyes. Obviously, like you just said, Cleveland Cavaliers being record-wise, I'm not saying they are the best, but record-wise this year, they are the best team in the Eastern Conference. And low-key, they just made another move, picking up Javante Green. Like
Yes.
they made the move for DeAndre Hunter. Now they picked up Javante Green. It's looking like the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's looking like they're putting all their chips into this season, and I'm not mad at that based upon on how they played the first half of the season. Nobody saw this coming from the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I think the front office and the whole organization, I think they're really trying to make a push for going as far as they can this year, maybe even upsetting the Boston Celtics. But I mean, OG, of course, is good and great to hear that OG is back. I'm just wondering if he's actually going to be playing tonight. It's saying I've seen the most latest on like I'm on Twitter right now, and then Stefan Bondi said that he's warming up, and then Coach
He
Seb says,
just
"Go
got
ahead."
confirmed, like literally
Yeah,
seconds ago. So
yeah. So I don't even know if he plays. Is he going to be in the starting lineup, or are they going to have him come off the bench? But yeah, no, it's always great. It's always great news to hear that OG Anunoby is going to play. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, I think this definitely helps him out a lot. I mean, coming off a back to back where it was a hard fought overtime game where the starters all played 40 plus minutes outside of Jalen Brunson, it is a good sign to see that OG is back, as Shams revealed 6 minutes ago. So personally, I'd expect OG to start. I just think with Tibbs, he's not gonna go halfway on OG. If OG's healthy, they're gonna play him the same way they usually do. I'm curious to see if it's gonna be OG or McHale guarding Donovan Mitchell tonight. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell from New York likes to show up in the Garden, so he'll be looking to have a big game. The New York Knicks defense at times has definitely been suspect this season, so it does get this interesting kind of thing going where you're like, okay, um,
Dude, I don't think we ever really talked about the actual injury, like, because it was
yeah,
on the game. It was actually against the Lakers, literally a few hours before the Luka trade. I think
yeah.
I did a post-game video on that game, but you and I, we were never really able to just exchange feelings about it because when I saw it, first of all, it was no contact. He caught the ball on the wing. He literally just tried to make a, I don't even know if he tried to make a move. He literally just caught it, and LeBron was like right in front of him. And then OG just went down to the floor. And I'm just like, oh God, bro. And that is one of the biggest concerns that Knicks have this season. Mitchell Robinson, the minutes that the players are playing, and Coach Tibbs is just hammering the starting five specifically. And we were worried about OG Anunoby's availability and the durability. So when I saw him go down that night, I was like, oh crap. The only blessing in disguise was that it was like right before the All-Star break. It was a week or a week and a half prior. So I was like, okay, cool. Like he goes down, let him rest for the next week, let him have the All-Star break, and then hopefully he'll be able to like I didn't expect him to play right away after the All-Star break. I thought it was gonna be like a minimum of maybe another week. But this is definitely a great sign to see. But yeah, what were your feelings just when you saw him go down that night?
I was terrified just the way he just literally barely moved and collapsed. I think a lot of people thought, okay, there was definitely the Achilles crowd of it all where anytime someone grabs their foot, it's like, oh, his Achilles is gone. He's destroyed. He's done forever. On top of that, definitely some people probably fearing stress fracture. I kind of thought there was a
Ish.
world with that because just the minutes and all that, like he has a high workload. There was a chance of that. Turned out it was just a sprained foot. I ended up doing a video later that night on OG's sprained foot, and then approximately like seconds later, Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers. So that was interesting, but
A day that will live in infamy.
that was an insane time, dude. That was absolutely nuts to see. Just
No,
Luka
absolutely.
ending up there. If OG
Yeah,
plays,
no,
then the starting
absolutely.
five will be better than the regular starting five, and Brunson, Deuce, OG, Bridges, and Cat. That's the thing. They play really well with Deuce in the starting lineup.
Deuce, last night, bro. That was,
Really
dude,
good.
the confidence that this guy's playing with, bro. I love to see it. Again, it's the Chicago Bulls, Josh Giddey, Kobe White. They're not known as defensive specialists. I get it. But I'm just saying, bro, if I see this type of confidence from Deuce, I like it, bro. I like it. And that's why I'm also gonna be watching today's game with a little bit more like intentional eyes because I want to see how Deuce plays against the better one of the better teams in the league, going up against Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. If Deuce gets the ball on the wing, I want him to take it, bro. Let me see you
Yeah.
take it off the dribble, go between your legs. Like I like what I'm seeing from Deuce, bro. I really like what I'm seeing from Deuce.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think the Deuce looked really good. I think the confidence is there with him, as you mentioned. And just that shot has been great. And we're seeing Jalen Brunson look better when he's playing with Deuce in the backcourt. Deuce is he's an excellent complementary piece to scorers because he's pure 3 and D through and through, but also has very nice shot creation. He has a good pump fake and very, very good catch and shoot player. He finds the corner as well. The Knicks love shooting corner threes. I mean, Deuce just understands exactly what the Knicks need out of him, and he gets it done and then some. I mean, just a perfect role player for this team. Elite defense as well. I mean, with OG there and Josh out, I think there's also a possibility that Deuce, who I'd imagine is going to guard Darius Garland, but there's a world where they'll stick Deuce on Donovan Mitchell at points as well to see how Deuce fares. Donovan's a little strong, so there's a
Yeah.
chance they'll want to go bigger on Donovan because that's worked in the past. But the Knicks have multiple guys in their starting lineup that they can throw at Donovan, which I think is a very good way to do things because you just got to throw this team off. I mean, that scoring comes straight from their backcourt, so we're going to see how the Knicks can defend a backcourt that doesn't really have a bunch of scoring. Like, this is obviously there's no Josh Hart, there's no Mitchell Robinson, but we're seeing the finished product of the Cavs for this season. And as you said, it does feel like they're kind of putting all their eggs in this year's basket with the way they're playing. And so it's not exactly a finished product for the Knicks with dealing with 2 injuries, but at the
Right.
same time, we're seeing the finished product Cavs. So it is a very good sample size on how the Knicks could fare against the Cavs in the playoffs. Obviously, the playoffs is a different game, but still, it'll be very, very interesting. Having Deuce there, or having OG back is going to be huge. OG, just his record with the Knicks is insane. Like, I think this is a very good sign for the Knicks. I think they could do well. I just think that back-to-back is going to be killing them.
I mean, yeah, back to back is rough, but I mean, it's after the All-Star break. It's like 25 to 30 games. Like you need to be hitting the ground running. Like I'm also gonna be looking at Mikal Bridges. Last night, he didn't really have a good game. There's like a lot of things that I'm keeping an eye on, and this is definitely one of the games on the calendar that if you're a Knicks fan, if you're even a part of the Knicks team, you should be circling because the Cleveland Cavaliers have been playing great, and you definitely want to send them a message prior to like the playoffs because we could be seeing them all the way up until the Eastern Conference Finals or maybe second round. But I also want to like, dude, the Cleveland Cavaliers, okay, the pickup of DeAndre Hunter is cool. Javante Green is cool. But again, Ty Jerome, I don't, yeah, last week you weren't able to hop on the live with Matt and I, but we did talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I said Ty Jerome, Dean Wade, and Sam Merrill. Dude, I don't trust those guys in the playoffs. That's great regular season numbers, cool. But the playoffs is a different animal. I don't trust those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they were depending on those guys going into the playoffs without picking DeAndre Hunter and Javante Green, I would have still been on the bandwagon of like this is a regular season team. Donovan Mitchell being the best player in your team, regular season results. We all know my feelings about Donovan Mitchell. But now with the addition of DeAndre Hunter and Javante Green, it tends to I'm just a little hesitant of saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are just a regular season team. But it's not like Ty Jerome, Dean Wade, and Sam Merrill. It's not like they're gonna go from playing in the regular season to not playing any minutes in the playoffs. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are gonna depend on them a little bit. And I don't trust those guys. Like to me, those guys are the epitome of just regular season dudes.
Yeah, I think Dean Wade. I think with him, it's a little different because he's just such a 3 and D guy. The defense should translate. Like specifically, defense should translate into the playoffs. I understand where you're coming from with both Ty Jerome and Sam Morrell. Both of them have been very, very nice players this season. But still, I mean,
Dean
Jerome's
Wade is
going to be
getting
being in a
cooked, bro.
rotation.
Dean
He's
Wade is
getting
getting cooked. I don't care, bro, by anybody.
he's a really good defender, dude.
Is
I think
he?
he's an elite on-ball defender. He's truly
Elite on-ball defender. When has his name been
elite's
brought up
a
in
bit of a stretch. He's a great, great on-ball defender.
when has his name been brought up as one of the better perimeter and on-ball defenders in the league? I've never heard his name come up.
He's insanely underrated, but I will tell you one thing. He gives Jalen Brunson hell. He's done it before. He did it last time around as well. He just and earlier in the season when Huck Porty dunked all over Evan Mobley's entire family lineage.
Yeah.
That game that the Knicks lost, Brunson was struggling with Dean Wade, and Dean Wade does this to people. He's a very good athlete, good corner three shooter, very very good defender.
When you said that he gave Jalen Brunson fits, I immediately looked up his just like how tall he is. He's 6'9", and
Yeah,
what that brought me to is Jalen Brunson, I guess kryptonite, if you guys want to call it that, is when he has people guarding him that are a little bit more athletic, they're a little bit bigger
yeah,
than him. Like he has trouble. A la Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels is definitely top three in defensive players of the year this year. And even though Jalen Brunson was able to cook him in the last game that we played against the Atlanta Hawks, like Dyson Daniels, he makes him just work very hard. But Dean Wade, like, yeah, 6'9", that's definitely gonna give Jalen Brunson a lot of problems. But I don't think Dean Wade can stay in front of him. He might be able to make it a little bit difficult, but not as difficult as a Dyson Daniels can or somebody else that I'm forgetting right now. I just don't trust it, bro. I don't trust it.
I mean, Dyson Daniels is definitely a better defender than Dean Wade is, but like, I'm saying Dean Wade is a very, very good 3-and-D player. I think that should translate well for Cleveland. They'll also probably throw DeAndre Hunter as well on Brunson just because Brunson's the best player on the Knicks.
Yeah, bro. They got pieces now, bro. They
Yeah,
got
they got
pieces
better.
now, man.
That Javante Green move was annoying as hell too. Like, I really did not want to see him go to a good team like that. Like, I wanted him on the Knicks in all transparency. I'm a big Javante Green supporter, but
He came from New Orleans,
definitely
right?
that. What's up? Yeah,
He came from New Orleans, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Celtics, Bulls, Pelicans, now Cavs.
He wasn't in Dallas recently? Or am I bugging?
I don't think Javante Green ever played. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Javante Green ever played for the Mavs. I
Oh,
know he
good.
started with the Celtics and then went to the Bulls. Like, I know those were his first two teams. But yeah, I mean, definitely the way you look at this Knicks team, the way you look at the Cavs. Right now, the Cavs do look better, and I think something that's just going to need to happen is once Mitchell Robinson comes back, I think that'll give everyone a much clearer vision on who the Knicks are and who their identity is because their defense is going to be better. Mitch should be back in like 2 weeks, maybe a week from now. They do want to play him before February ends, so we could be seeing Mitch. He's not playing tonight. I highly doubt he's playing Sunday, or I think everyone would know that by now. But he should be back fairly soon, so probably the following week at best if we're lucky. I mean, obviously, like everyone else, I'm getting kind of sick of just continually hearing that Mitchell Robinson's coming back and then he doesn't. But I think they are just trying to make sure he's 100% healthy because they're trying to. It's not even that he can't play right now; he totally can. They're just trying to prevent re-injury in any way possible.
Well, the last thing that I saw on the internet, it said I don't know if it was a Stephen Bondi or just some other reporter. It said that it was rumored to be around beginning of March towards mid-March. And if he comes back at the beginning of March, the very first game in March that the Knicks have is March 2nd at Miami. And then from there, it's 23 games. I just did the math. So if he comes back in the beginning of March, he has 23 games to get implemented to the offense, get back to the field of the game, his stamina, his conditioning. That's definitely enough time. And I'm looking at the schedule right now. Miami, Golden State, LA, Sacramento, Portland. I'm looking at the better teams of the league. Like I'm looking at the. I'm trying to find. Okay, we play Cleveland, April 2nd. We play Boston, April 8th, and we play Cleveland again on April 11th. So 3 games we'll be able to see Mitchell Robinson in the lineup going up against the better teams in the Eastern Conference. That's what I want to see. Like I want to see Mitch come back obviously and play, but I want him to play against the better teams in the league to see the defensive schemes that Coach Tibbs draws up, how we're gonna be able to implement him with some like I don't know, maybe some alley-oop plays or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. Mitch, oh, I hate to say it, bro, but we need him, bro. We need him so bad,
Oh, we
dog.
desperately do. And Charlie Nix, who's in the chat as always, he just said Mitch is coming back February 26th. So we might have a
Mm,
date. We might know. I
mm.
hope it's February 26th. Yeah,
That's
we're
against
gonna
Philly, so that'll be good. That'll
against
be a
Philly.
W
Oh
and a nice
man.
ease in. Oh, and of course the whole beef that he has with Joel Embiid, right?
Honestly, he definitely get some sort of suspension for doing this. I'd love for him to catch the ball in the post on Embiid and just tossing a little elbow into Joel Embiid's mouth. Just he deserves it after that. He's the reason why Mitch is out. So return the
Facts.
favor, Mitch. Toss an elbow. Play dirty.
Just a little bit.
Uh,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
Also, the last 4 games played, the first 2, Brunson hit the exact same clutch shot. I need to move my phone into a better position because I just do. So I can actually read it. Also, last 4 games we played, the first 2, Brunson hit the exact same shot to win the game. The next 2 back-to-back clutch shots. Yeah. February 26th. The Cavs have depth and height. They are definitely a problem. Yeah, I mean, they have depth and height, which is an issue for a Knicks team that's missing some of their height. We saw the way that Mitchell Robinson absolutely dominated at the same time, both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the playoffs in 2022. So I am curious. I'm looking forward to when Mitch is healthy against those 2 guys. Mitch gets up for that Jared Allen matchup. He feels like he has something to prove because of the whole discourse on who's the best center in New York. Is it Jared Allen or is it Mitchell Robinson back when Jarrett was on the Nets? And Mitch has not really forgotten that and still keeps trying to prove that point. So it will be interesting to see how that ends up working out for everyone. And specifically how Mitchell Robinson, after these injuries, will fare. He's lost 40 pounds. He's 26 pounds. He's 266 pounds. So he lost some weight. He said he's going to be back to high-flying Mitch, the guy blocking three-point shots and catching lobs. And I would love to see that version of Mitch back. He was so fun to watch. I do fear how he'll fare against, like, bigger guys, but I trust that he's losing the weight in a correct way. So I'm excited to see it. I'm really looking forward to seeing Mitchell Robinson back on the team. It sounds like February 26th would be very, very, very exciting. As mentioned by Trendle, there is the fear that Joel Embiid is going to continue to play dirty against Mitch, which would absolutely be terrifying. But also, we're assuming that Joel Embiid plays. And
I mean, going back to your Mitchell Robinson and Jared Allen point and how we completely smacked them in the playoffs 2 years ago. If we match up with them in the playoffs, second round or Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know, man. Just looking at the bigs, Mitchell Robinson, and Cat, it's just Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. One, they're definitely gonna have a little bit of more like motivation because they know they got embarrassed, and then two, the way that Kenny Atkinson has been able to really just cultivate just the way that they've been playing. I mean, Evan Mobley has definitely taken a little bit of a, not even a little bit. He's taken a leap this year in his career. 18 and a half points, 9.2 rebounds, 3 assists, obviously an all-star. His three-pointers, he's making 1 out of 3 three-pointers, 37.5%, 12.7 field goals made on 12 and a half field goals attempted, 56.7%. Whenever I see highlights of Evan Mobley in the Cleveland Cavaliers, I do see him just being a little bit more like fluid, if that makes any more sense. He is taking more shots, and that is something that I guess Kenny Atkinson really talked to him about to open up the paint for Jarrett Allen to roam a lot more and just do a lot more of his damage. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on Evan Mobley in the playoffs to see how in the first round, whoever they match up with. I want to see just like how aggressive he is, or if we're going to get the same Evan Mobley that we saw 2 years ago.
yeah, once the playoffs begin, it's interesting to see. I mean, Mobley's still not some like great shooter by any means, and I think the
Right.
Cavs are going to have some spacing issues, especially come the playoffs. They've been good at hitting threes this season, though, so we're going to see. I mean, Charlie said that we're not winning tonight because he'd rather break the news now, as he said we aren't ready against the fully healthy Cavs and champ Celtics. If anything, we have to wait for the playoff run. I mean, yeah, I don't really expect the Knicks to win against the Cavs or the Celtics. I think it's unfortunate timing for both these games, but they can
Yeah,
win. I
that's
mean,
crazy.
they're getting better as as the season goes on. The Knicks are seemingly putting it together more and more. I do trust that they're like pretty close to being good. I just yeah, Charlie thinks it's going to be a blow. It's going to be a literal blowout. I mean, it
It
could
shouldn't be
be.
a blowout, bro. It shouldn't be a blowout. It's not a big game, but like the Knicks, we lost to them already. They're one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Like we should be going in there looking to try and get a W. And I get it, a back-to-back, Josh Hart being out, OG Anunoby's first game back. I get it, but like we should be looking to try and like send them a message.
No, I agree. And like Allen and Mobley are going to score if they're guarded by Towns. Yeah, I think Precious is starting this game, or at least they'll probably
Yeah.
look to start him because just the two big man lineup makes more sense. I mean, it's just it's tough to gauge what the Knicks are against these good teams when they just have not
Right.
had their finished product out because they don't have Mitchell Robinson. Everything, the common denominator of the Knicks losing to good teams is what are the Knicks going to look like with Mitchell Robinson? Yes, the spacing will get a little worse, but at the same time, the defense will get a lot better. So you're sacrificing one thing to become a great defense. And the Knicks allow a lot of threes because they give a lot of cushion to guys who are basically going to drive because people drive a Karl Anthony Towns with zero fear. So you just desperately need that version of Mitchell Robinson there to prevent people from doing that. On top of that, Ariel Hukporti looked very nice against the Bulls. Like his defense was really good in those minutes. I think it's kind of a good sign of what we could see with the New York Knicks and with Mitchell Robinson once he's back in exchange for playing a guy who is a rookie who is still figuring out the NBA game in Hukporti. So I do think the Knicks are going to be very well off. I think it's just going to take some time. I think it's tough, man. It's so annoying to watch the Knicks drop these games with teams that I know they're at their level. Like you could see the Knicks are at these teams' level, and I think you are right. The Knicks they'll get up for this game. You know, Jalen Brunson wants this game. Like the Knicks and the Cavs, they're not necessarily rivals, but there has been a bit of that like we're good at the same time type rivalry. And obviously, Jalen Brunson's eliminated Donovan Mitchell from the playoffs twice. So there is something there that Brunson will want to step up for.
That's crazy. Um, by the way, do you see the timer?
I do.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, when I listen to all these different other podcasts, from NBA media, talking heads, also ex-players, like, dude, they don't have the Knicks in the same tier as Cleveland and Boston, and that depth, bro. When we look at the depth of the Knicks, with Mitchell coming back. Nah, dude, it just fuck. I'm sorry, it's almost cursed, almost cursed.
You
It
saved
just
it.
really, dude, it just really sucks, bro. That we always have to be like, it's like we're in the Kawhi Leonard area, bro. Area Kawhi Leonard. If he comes back, when he comes back, if he can stay healthy, then we're gonna be. I hate doing that, bro. I hate doing
Yeah.
that because we can't really give a good gauge of what we're gonna look like, of who we're gonna be able to compete with. I hate it so much, and I'm one of the biggest not Kawhi Leonard fans. I never thought that he was gonna be the guy. Cool, he won a championship with Toronto Raptors, but I never believed that him going to the Clippers, even with Paul George, I never thought it was gonna work out, and I was right. But man, I'll be so disappointed, bro, if we just don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just want to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care who it's against. I don't want to get gentlemen swept. I don't want to lose in 5 games. If we can make it a competitive 6 games, I'll be happy. But
I think it's tough because the Knicks, unfortunately, are just stuck in this matchup with the Celtics right now. Like, it feels like it's inevitable the Knicks and the Celtics are going to match up in the second round. And again, like everything else, it's just, but we'll have to see what happens when they're fully healthy. It's always this common denominator of with a fully healthy Knicks, what will they look like against Boston? Will they be better fair to defend them better? Because the Knicks defense on the Celtics has been terrible this season. Obviously, the Celtics are a phenomenal offense, but
right.
still. And I mean, this is a battle of two great offenses. The three best offensive ratings in the NBA are the Cavs, Knicks, and Celtics. So we're going to see an offensive battle, and the Celtics are way better prepared for an offensive battle. They've also been together for a much longer time now. It's a long time core. Like the Knicks also do have a new core. I do think this is truly an evaluation year for them. Like I think this is, hey, we're obviously trying to win the NBA Finals this season, but we have like a good 4-year stretch with this core. We need to see what this team still needs, and what this team needs is a better bench. Like the bench is fine, it's just not great in the
Cool.
way it has been in
Yeah.
years past.
Listen,
Like
man.
I don't know.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was pretty much done.
Nah, going up against. I'd rather go up against Cleveland, in the second round or Eastern Conference Finals rather than Boston because I was talking about a little bit earlier about who gives Jalen Brunson fits, the bigger guards, and Boston is just full of them with Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown looking like a Greek god. He's just jacked out of his mind. Jason Tatum could be switched on to Jalen Brunson. He'll be able to play defense respectively. And then on top of that, like Cat with his like switch defense, like it's not great. God, Boston is just gonna be a nightmare, bro. And then you go into their depth. KP, if he's able, hopefully he'll be able to. Well, actually, not hopefully, because we don't want to see him. we don't want to see KP be healthy with the Boston Celtics. But Sam Hauser is a bucket. Derek Watt, no, Sam Pritchard is a bucket. Oh my God, bro. It's just when you compare the depth of Boston specifically to New York, it's a little grim. It's a little grim. I don't want to talk about it.
Charlie
And
is
then,
not thrilled in the comments right now. He said, as it stands, we would play Detroit in the first round. It would be a 7-game series, and we would probably lose.
oh my God, we lose, he says?
Yeah, I don't think we would. I think we'd win. I think we'd win in like 6 at worst. I think the Knicks are just way more prepared for the playoffs than the Pistons are. The Pistons
Yeah, I was
haven't
gonna
been
say we
there in a
probably win
while.
in 6.
Yeah, 6 makes sense. The
I thought,
Pistons
yeah, I'd
are
agree with
good.
you. I say Knicks in 6. But even with that Knicks in 6, it's a little like, ugh, that should be a 5-gamer. But I could
It
definitely see
should.
Detroit. I could definitely see Detroit coming to play and making it a 6-game series.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how Cade would do in his first ever playoff appearance as well. Like he's never been here before. This would be a first time for him, so we'd have to see how he looks, how he'd fare. I
You
honestly think the Knicks would be able to beat him, especially just with Mitchell. I hate to make everything, but with Mitchell Robinson. But that's where we're
Right,
at right
right,
now.
right.
The playoffs are coming down the stretch, and the Knicks don't have a rim protector. It's very rare to see a team succeed without great rim protection. So
I mean, we also got to talk about Cat's performance in the playoffs. Like, he doesn't have a great resume of playing in the
no, not at
playoffs.
all. Like he's had
So,
series where he's been good. Like he's had moments, but overall, yeah,
exactly.
his numbers do take dips. Like, and it
That's something else that we gotta. See, there's too many question marks. Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby's durability, Cat's ability to play at the level of what he's playing at now in the regular season. This is why I'm just worried, bro. I'm just really worried. And like Detroit Pistons in the first round, like I got the Knicks in 6, but could I see Detroit pushing it to 7? Yes, I could see Cat doing absolutely boneheaded plays. And I've been pointing this out lately. Like Cat is kind of easy to guard, bro. If you make Cat put the ball on the floor, he puts his head down, he drops his shoulders, and he does this wild horse galloping Euro two-step that I don't like, bro. He's very predictable. He's very predictable. And I just don't like it, bro. Can you
yeah.
can you change the topic? Because now I'm a little nervous. No, I'm kidding.
I think they'll be fine.
I do think I think it's mainly the bench, and the bench gets shrunken down in the playoffs. It'll be an 8-man rotation, maybe a bit of a 9-man rotation. Like they might play Cameron Payne like 6 to 8 minutes,
Jeez.
but outside of that, it would be like Brunson's gonna play like 38, Josh Hart's gonna play like 44, Mikhail's gonna play around 42 minutes per game. OG will probably play like 37, 38, and then Cal will play around 38 as well. So we will see. Obviously, the starters get a ton of minutes. Mitchell Robinson getting around 25. Deuce McBride getting around 20 something as well. And then it's probably going to be a pretty big dip with like Payne and Precious getting some minutes, but not much. I don't see TJ Warren getting any getting any minutes in the playoffs if they sign him. But also they might sign Victor Oladipo apparently.
All right, yeah, I saw that. I saw that you put out a video. Yeah, I don't
Game
know,
day coming
man.
Sunday.
What's he looking like? Because all I've seen from Victor is that he's just been rehabbing. He's just been trying to get back into the league. Like, have you heard anything about physically he looks good or anything?
I mean, there's not much on him. Everyone thought he was retired, and he had to like
Right.
basically come out and say, "I'm not retired. I'm coming back. I'm just rehabbing this injury." He obviously had those. He tore his quad, and then 2 years later he re-tears it. He had a hamstring injury as well, and then on the Miami Heat, he goes down with a torn patellar tendon pretty much instantly, and it's like the man's just dealt with so many injuries over his career. People kind of forgot about him. He ended up getting traded to the Rockets, and this was the second time he'd been traded to the Rockets, and he didn't like playing on the Rockets, so I don't even think he didn't really play there at all. He was out for the majority of the season, and then halfway through the year at the trade deadline, and there was definitely some implication to this that no one understands. Maybe just the Rockets wanted him, but the Rockets traded Victor Oladipo for Steven Adams, who was also out for the year last year. So one of the weirder trades that we've seen in recent years, but Steven Adams has been good for the Rockets this year, so I guess there was a method to the madness there.
Could we
Pans, yo,
could we happy hour obviously is focused on the Knicks, but could we talk a little bit about just the NBA in general?
hell yeah. The Zoom's about to end, so we'll just restart that real quick, and we could
Oh
jump right
yeah.
into it. So, yeah, I'm just gonna read this comment real quick.
Payne and Shamit jokes on our bench. They're not doing anything for us now. How in the world are they going to get in the playoffs? Guys, the Knicks aren't making it past the first. Charlie, what's with the negativity, man? I think we went to overtime with the Hawks and Bulls. Yeah, but I don't care if you're going to overtime in the regular season. We've seen teams go into overtime with bad teams all the time. Like, that's nothing new. So I'm not too concerned about this. Brunson is at his best in the playoffs. Like, we're forgetting about that. That man.
Big facts.
Speaking about Karl Anthony Towns and that, it's one of the markings of a true superstar. I think Towns is phenomenal. I think he's a great player. Would I call him a top-tier NBA superstar? No. Would I call Brunson that? Kind of. I mean, Brunson's playing better in the playoffs. So, I absolutely think that Brunson is a true star. Dariel will be back in just a moment. But I do think... Oh, wow, that looks hideous without my green screen. I do think Jalen Brunson will be good to go. This is a huge fluke. I just don't think so. I don't think the Knicks are fluking. I think they're just a good team. Like, I truly think the Knicks are just good. Like, I don't... Charlie, why do you not believe in the Knicks? What is causing this lack of belief? Remember, like, Shamit's not going to play in the playoffs. He's not going to be in the rotation. They're going to have an 8-man rotation. Maybe a 9-man with Payne playing 6 to 8 minutes at night to give Brunson some rest, and I'm fine with that. Cameron Payne's fiery. Teammates like him. He can get hot very quickly, which we've seen him do before. He's a solid defender. I think that Cameron Payne's going to be a very, very fine guy to have for 8 minutes a night in playoff basketball, personally. I think it's going to work out well. That was the old Zoom link. Yeah, because of the coach. Yeah, a lot of people, Tibbs feels like he's under fire more this year than ever before. I am curious about how much longer he's going to be the head coach of the Knicks. He obviously signed that extension, so he's not going anywhere soon. But also, I don't think he'll be coaching for that much longer. I think he'll move up into the front office. I'm curious about who's going to be the next head coach. I guess it's Dan Hurley. There's a few different options. I wonder if they'd be interested in Rick Pitino. It's like a random thought. Hi, Sherwin. Or bye, Sherwin. But yeah, no, I definitely think the Knicks are going to be fine in the playoffs. I just think they're going to lose in the second round because at the end of the day, they are going to run into the Celtics, and the Celtics have been nothing if not essentially unbeatable for the Knicks. They're just a better version of the Knicks completely right now, so it is definitely a little bit difficult. I do hope that the Orlando will be tough. They will be a difficult team. Their defense is good. They need more scoring out of that backcourt, but the Jalen Suggs of it all is going to be tough for him. Sorry, just sending out a little message to Dariel so he could send me the Zoom link. We're going to talk on this for another 20 or so. It's embarrassing every time to see a team see every single team light us. I mean, dude, we're like double over 500. We're the third. We're not getting lit up by every single team. We're winning most of these games. The defense isn't good because we don't have an anchor right now. He's coming back. As you said, he's coming back February 26th. Like, he'll be there very soon. And, I mean, I think the three-point defense is going to get much better with Mitchell Robinson because there's less cushioning because you're less afraid of blow-bys and stuff. So they'll have Mikal and OG and Josh Hart and everyone on the perimeter literally just guard three-pointers tighter because the Knicks obviously know it's a problem. Like, they're not, like, it's not lost on them that this is an issue for them. Like, they definitely have brought it up in the past, and they're trying to work on that the best they can. It's just tough when you have no second line of defense and rim protection with Mitchell Robinson. So I think that's going to be a huge part of things. Guys, I am exhausted. It is a tiring day. This week has been going on forever. The Knicks can beat anyone with a healthy Mitch. Cat can guard the jump and shooting centers. Mitch will be the helper. Exactly. Mitch is going to be there for help defense where he's at his best. So I think it's going to be I think it's definitely going to be a lot of Mitchell Robinson help defense. I think that's going to work well for the Knicks. And it's just going to lead to the rim protection being better. And Tom Thibodeau's defenses are built around rim protection. Like, that's what they're built on. Their team's built on rim protection. So I truly think that once he's there, it's going to be a lot better. What up, Gideon? Mitch is he's healthy now. They're just getting him back up. Bucks is our best bet. We would barbecue the Bucks in 5. Yeah, I think we beat the Bucks pretty easily. Obviously, you don't want to run into superstars like Giannis, but I think the Bucks are just falling off a cliff, so it is tough to believe in them at this point. I would like to see the Knicks fall to the 4 seed, so they could not, so they could not like play the Cavs in the second round or play the Celtics in the second round. What Sherwin say? The Knicks can beat anyone with a healthy Mitch. Yeah, we just talked about that. Yes, absolutely. We are not just bad at the 3-point defense. We almost last in pick and roll defense. Yeah, all of this stems from the Knicks not having Mitchell Robinson and having Karl Anthony Towns, who's not a rim protector, play center. Like, that's really what it is. More than anything, that's what this is. And that's not something that really concerns me at all. Rim protection is here. It's on the way. And also, Ariel Hukporti is showing a lot of promise. I mean, he looked really good blocking shots left and right yesterday. Looking good. It feels like Ariel Hukporti is really figuring out the NBA game very quickly, and we should see him play a lot more next season. Pacers kind of give me the EBGBs. They're top 10. Steals. Yeah, I don't think the Pacers are going to be... I still just don't think the Pacers are very good. I know they're surging right now. There are real concerns and great takes. This is the same concerns that millions of fans have. We all see what's... Any concern that fans have, for the most part, the Knicks know about. Like, it's not lost on the Knicks. A lot of their issues are lacking rim protection. No, I'm aware. Like, I'm not saying the Knicks should lose on purpose. I just wish they would fall to the 4 seed. Essentially what I'm saying is I just want to avoid the Celtics as long as humanly possible. That's really all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I want the Knicks to lose. I would like for that to be the case. That the Knicks just don't have to face the Celtics. I wish the Celtics could just go on a massive run and the Cavs could take a little dip for a while so the Knicks can stay the 3 seed. Maybe even get up to they're not getting up to the 2 if the Celtics got a 1 seed. But, like, they stay the 3 seed and they can avoid the Celtics till the conference finals. I'd way rather that than the Knicks play the Celtics in the beginning of, or the earlier part of the playoffs. It would suck to have another second round exit once again for the 3rd year in a row, but it does feel like that's where we're steaming towards if we face the Celtics in the second round. I do think the Knicks would win the first round. So I don't care who we play, win or lose, we're going to break. Oh, yeah, the Knicks, I mean, they are not backing down from any challenge. It's not who they are. Tibbs just has to step up. I'm curious I think Tibbs' schemes will change a lot with Mitchell Robinson back on the floor as well. I think that'll be a huge part of things. So I am looking forward to that. What time is this game at? It's at 7:30. I mean, do you guys think this game is going to have an impact on where the New York Knicks are? Like, I still think it's tough to gauge stuff without Mitchell Robinson there. I just find it difficult to do that. So, I'll really, really have, like, more... If New York has to duke it out with Cleveland or Boston, so be it. Well, I mean, they're going to have to face one of them, if not both. If they beat the Celtics, they'll have to face the Cavs. Maybe the Cavs. Honestly, I could see the Cavs losing earlier in the playoffs, though. I don't think they're a guarantee to make the conference finals at all. I think the Magic could get them. I think the Pacers could get them. I think the Bucks could get them. I think basically any team in the playoffs could beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think they're that good. They scream regular season team to me. Their moves they made at the deadline were good, though. Javonte Green and DeAndre Hunter, both very good moves. Maybe Boston plays a team like Indy or Detroit, and we'll get a tug-of-war with those teams and get popped out. I wouldn't tank to drop certain seeds. We shouldn't count our eggs before we have. No, again, I'm more saying I just wish this was the scenario. I'm not saying do it. I'm like, oh, man, wouldn't it be nice if the Knicks didn't have to face these teams? Because a team like the Celtics is just rough for the Knicks. The Knicks have not been able to figure the Celtics out all season yet. We're going to see how they look on Sunday against the Celtics. I think that'll give another good little input into where the Knicks are at against the Celtics and the defense that they're going to play and all that stuff. So I think that'll be interesting as well. Yeah, we're going to go to like 7:10, do an hour of this. It is happy hour after all. I'm excited about the game, though. I think it's going to be sort of close. I think it'll be a shootout. The Knicks have to bring it tonight, though. They do. Like, they're going to have to bring it. They're going to have to use that 5 out, and we're going to see. I'm curious to see how Jared Allen looks against a 5 out team like the Knicks. Like, because it'll tell a lot about what the Knicks should do in the playoffs against a team like the Cavs. I'm gauging Tibbs' ability to adjust with what he has to play with. The Knicks don't have to win every game. I'm just tired of Tibbs getting out-coached. Yeah, I mean, there's been series where Tibbs has done the out-coaching and series where he's been out-coached. And definitely we saw him out-coach J.B. Bickerstaff. So if the Pistons make the playoffs, I'm confident that Tibbs will be able to out-coach him. Also, the Knicks are just better than the Pistons. Cap, Precious, and OG are a better starting 5 to me. We now have size for Cleveland. Yeah, I'm curious about Precious in the starting lineup, just how that'll go. A perfect world would be we play Milwaukee, Orlando, and like Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's obviously not getting anywhere. Yeah, we beat Milwaukee and Orlando. I think that it's specifically the Celtics the Knicks can't beat. I think they could beat any other team pretty easily, in fact. On Spider Mitch on. Yeah. I'm curious who OG's going to guard. They might have OG in more of a help setting. And I'd imagine that Deuce is going to guard Garland. It's tough, though. It's a big team. Like, where do you hide Jalen Brunson? I guess you just put Brunson on DeAndre Hunter because Hunter hangs out in the corners a lot anyway. So that would make a lot of sense. It's not an ideal matchup for the Knicks as long as they don't have Mitchell Robinson on the floor. Once they do, things will change. Bridges on Garland. That's what I would guess the Knicks do. Especially if Deuce doesn't start, that's definitely what they will do. I could even see them putting double team and no drop coverage. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have a lot of scoring threats coming out of their front court, so definitely that could work. Wow, I am exhausted, guys. Jeez Louise. And Dariel has returned. The return of the Dariel. Shoot, what were we talking about? Who do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who do you think should guard who? What are the matchups you like? This is a tough team to hide Jalen Brunson on defense because they're so big.
Come on, Cleveland.
Yeah,
So who do I think Jalen Brunson should guard?
yeah.
Listen, man, I'm one of the old school. I'm from the old school, bro. You guard your position. I don't care.
Ah,
You guard Darius Garland, bro.
I honestly think they might do that because there's a world where they'll want to have OG play more of a help defender role against this team. Especially with Josh Hart out, they're going to all pitch in for rebounding.
You put Jalen Brunson on Darius Garland and you put OG on Donovan Mitchell just to make things a lot more difficult. I mean, for tonight's game, since OG's first game back from the foot injury, maybe put Mikal Bridges on Donovan Mitchell.
I agree.
Um, yeah, but me, as far as Jalen Brunson, I don't like I don't like when you try to hide defenders. I get it. Different players have different deficiencies. Jalen Brunson defense isn't one of his bright spots, even though he does cause a lot of charges. Which it was actually gonna bring me to my right before I got kicked out. I was asking you if you were cool with talking about just the NBA in general,
I'm
and I was
down.
gonna ask you a little bit about the Luka and the Lakers because they look they beat Portland last night, but they lost to Charlotte the night before, and then they lost to the Utah Jazz the last game prior to the All-Star game break. And I'm listening to all these different people talk, man, and they're talking about how you need to build a team around Luka. Luka is not a defensive player. He has defensive deficiencies. So you need players around Luka who's going to be perimeter on-ball defenders. And I'm listening to all these people, and I'm just like, yo, if you're one of the better players in the league, like work your ass off to be good at both ends of the floor, bro. Jalen Brunson is not a great defensive player, but at least he tries. Luka has not. Like when can you point to a when can you give me an example of like Luka actually trying to be a good defender? LeBron James is 40 years old and he's done so much for the league. Like he's at a point where okay, cool, he doesn't play defense, but he's kind of earned that.
Yeah.
I'm not
He also plays defense when he
happy.
has to.
Yeah, he plays defense when he has to, but for the regular season, like LeBron for the most part doesn't play defense. I don't like saying that, but it's true. Luca, even in the regular season, you don't really see him giving defensive effort. And I'm just like, yo, you're one of the better players in the league. When are you gonna actually step up and actually try? Like, I don't want to hear all this. You got to build a perfect team around Luca. No, you're one of the better players in the league. Whoever's around you, make your team better. Make your team better. And I hate hearing that, bro.
No, I agree. Luka's defense is very problematic. I'm I think it also comes down to Lakers just don't have a good big man. They just don't. Like Alex Len and Jackson Hayes.
That Alex Len pickup, I get why they did it, but golly,
They couldn't
bro.
find someone better?
Golly, bro.
I would have taken 39-year-old Dwight Howard over that.
The Lakers have, they have problems, bro. Luca is not healthy. LeBron is 40. Austin Reeves, you can make a case of being their best player. They don't have Jared Vanderbilt is only good on one side of the floor, defense.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes is going to be your starting big. Like Rui Hachimura is he's Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Like they have so many problems. Oh my God, I'm so off of Lakers, bro. They're not they might surprise somebody in the first round, but they're not doing anything this year.
No, I mean usually when you make a massive trade like this, you don't go very far. Like the New York Knicks now, they made two massive trades. It's the first year after, like your first season after doing some massive roster shakeups, you're usually missing something. Just because you shook up your roster so much that it does take a year to adjust. I think that's what's happened with
Cat
both the
trade?
Lakers. Well, yeah, and with the Cat trade for sure. I mean, look, the Knicks
Oh,
make the
yeah.
Cat and McHale trade, and now their bench is just lacking. Like they have good bench pieces, but it's not like their bench is great. If they had Dante DiVincenzo coming off their bench, then their bench would be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, we're definitely top heavy for sure. We're seriously top heavy, which scares me. But yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
listening to while I was waiting to come back in, I was listening to you talk about just different coaches that you might want to see for the Knicks if Coach Tibbs goes to the front office or if he just ends up not being a coach. You said Dan Hurley, you said Rick Pitino. Dude, I do not want to see Rick Pitino as a coach.
I don't
I
think he'd
know.
come back to coach the Knicks again. I don't think he'd do that. I just threw it out there because he's just getting such good press, like the way that St. John's
Right.
has been going.
The Johnnies. Yeah, but no, definitely not Rick Pitino. I don't know. That's definitely a good question because I mean, I've come on here on the happy hour, and I think I mentioned it in some solo videos. Like, I don't think Coach Tibbs is going to be the one to get us to win a NBA championship. Maybe get
Yeah.
to an NBA Finals, maybe, but I don't think he's going to be the one to be coaching the Knicks and win the NBA Finals. So that begs to ask the question: Who would the Knicks maybe even target? Yeah, I don't even know, bro. Dan Hurley? You think maybe that's a possibility?
I think Dan Hurley is going to be the coach. He. That's why he didn't take the Lakers job. He didn't want to coach. He didn't want to move to California. He's from New Jersey. He wants to. He's happy coaching UConn. I think the Knicks will make him a massive offer. Like
I
Dolan's
mean,
willing to shell money out. If the Dolan deserves a lot of
yeah.
criticism, but that man is not afraid of spending money to make this team win. He does want the Knicks to win.
Yeah, no, I mean Dolan again, I listen to a lot of different podcasts and some of them are ex-NBA players, like the Gills Arena show. Kenyon Martin was a part of that Knicks team where it was Jason Kidd, Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Marcus Camby, Amari. And Kenyon Martin said that when he came to the Knicks, it was a stand-up organization, the medical staff, everything. So James Dolan, he does everything he can. Just that Phil Jackson hire is definitely going to be a blemish on his resume. But
It
James
made
Dolan,
sense at the time.
it did, 100%. 100% it did. It's just the way it panned out is definitely going to be a blemish. But
Yeah.
James Dolan does everything he can for the organization. So yeah, I mean, he might shell out the money for Dan Hurley. I just don't know. I'd be more comfortable with getting an NBA coach. You know who I think, man, I wish was available? Ime Udoka, bro. I love the way he coaches, bro. He does not give two shits, bro.
Yeah.
He'll
He's
tell you
great.
straight up. He'll tell you straight up, like, yo, you're playing like dog crap. He's brought that He's brought that intensity to Houston. Look at where they are right now, even though they're a little bit on the slide. I mean, look at what happened with Boston going to the NBA Finals. Like, I really like him as a coach.
Yeah, same.
But yeah,
All right. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up in 5 minutes because the Knicks game is on at 7,
yeah.
not 7:30, which I thought. Um, which Nick takes the subway the most? Do you think? I have a preface
Yo,
for this.
I can't with these random ass questions.
Dude, I last night I went out with my friend. All of a sudden, you go out, you go to a bar, you plan on leaving at midnight, the latest. All of a sudden, it's 1:30 in the morning.
Of course.
I wasn't. I had a lot to drink. And
You were a little inebriated, we'll
I
say.
was a little bit. And
Okay.
go to the train station. On 63rd or 62nd in Lexington to get on the Q train to come home because I live in Chelsea and I'm in like the friggin' Upper East Side, so I'm taking the train back, dude. It says it was like 29 minutes for the queue, so I go up this. I try to like find my way out, but again, I didn't have like the best state of mind going because I was a little tipsy, times
Right.
12.
Right.
But dude, I walk up. I ask some maintenance guy like. I feel like I was in a horror movie. I asked some maintenance guy, I'm like, dude, this is a weird question. I told him, I'm like, I'm pretty drunk. I'm not going to lie to you, but like, how do I get out of here? Like, I can't find the exit. And he's like, oh, just go through those doors over there. I go through the wrong doors. I kick open some double doors, walk up some stairs. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I find some deserted part of the train station. No one's been there for a while. It's just like emptiness. There's rats and garbage. I see a whole train platform down that's just clearly like abandoned or something. I'm like, dude, where the hell am I? I see like 2 staircases that I could go up, and I'm like, I've seen enough horror movies. I'm turning my ass around, and I'm just waiting for the Q train. I got to get to a different stop because somehow I've managed to get entirely lost. And
So,
I was walking
go ahead,
around
go
a
ahead.
deserted train station. It was terrifying, dude.
So you walk, oh my God, that's so creepy. So you walked into like an abandoned old school, haven't been touched in years, part of the train
Yes.
station? Yeesh.
Yeah, and there's just garbage. So there's probably some homeless person living it up there. And I'm like, I know
Facts.
someone's got to be around here that's just not good news. So I like turn around. I knew my way back, but like it got to the point, like my phone's at like 12%. So I like, it's dying, but I have enough percentage to be like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm like, I must be the stupidest person alive. I'm getting ready to call 911 and say, I got lost in the train station. Help. Like, I'm ready to say, I'm ready to have the dumbest 911 call anyone's ever had. And instead, I'm just like sending Snapchat videos to my friend where I'm like, dude, what is happening? Because like I had to like start joking about it because I was genuinely like, this is so freaking creepy, dude.
Have you
It
ever
was the
seen,
weirdest thing.
have you ever seen The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2?
No, I haven't.
Damn it. It's a second Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield, and there's a scene where he finds out information about his dad. He was a scientist, and he low-key had like his own science lab, and it was stationed at an abandoned train station in New York
Oh, that
City.
is so creepy.
I forgot what station, but like now I'm picturing you
I
in an
just show
abandoned
up.
train station. Bro, got me crying. But I mean, to answer your question, I don't know. It's somebody who could probably get away with it. Maybe Deuce, Campaign, maybe Landry Shamet. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm curious about that. I can see it being Deuce. He does live not to dox Deuce. I actually do know his address, which is very strange. I don't know his like
Deuce.
apartment number. I'm imagining it's the penthouse in the building. But Deuce and I do live in the same neighborhood, so that's pretty cool. I've never seen him, but I know where he lives. Like
Lit.
so Deuce, if for some reason you're watching Knicks Digest, you know, while the Knicks game is about to start, I'm coming over. Hey, it would get some more noise on the channel that I got arrested for breaking into Deuce's home.
I'm crying.
Yeah, so Mitch is likely out on Sunday versus the Celtics. Josh Hart, general soreness, he's day to day, and OG is not on a minutes restriction. So there's some final Knicks updates. Dariel, anything left to say?
Nah, man. Just let's go Knicks. Let's get this W tonight. Even though a lot of people don't think we're gonna be able to get it, Charlie Knicks, you'd think we're gonna get blown out. I want to see us just contend. I just want to see us contend, and actually want to see us try and send a message to the Cavs. That's all I want to see. Hopefully, we get the W.
Facts. Well, let's go watch this Knicks game, guys. It's another happy hour in the books. Tune in next Friday as well.
And we'll probably throw some other random live streams as well at random times. Make sure to be ready for those. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and